Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Amy Mantis, and today we're going to talk about inversions with extensions as well as altered chords. So if you missed my last video about inversions, go watch that first, get them under your fingers. It will make the extensions and altered chords make a lot more sense. So we're going to start with the extensions and then we'll do the altered chords in the second half. So first of all, what is an extension? An extension is the note that is not part of the core harmony of the chord. So we have 9s, 11s, and 13s. And we have to have, well, I'm gonna say have to have. You could argue we don't, but we have to have the 7th in order for something to be an extension. Otherwise, it would be a C add 9 chord. You're just adding the 9th, C major, C add 9. There's no 7th involved. We just put a D in there to make a nice pretty chord. But for what we were talking about last time, these inversions, we already have a 7th in there because they are dominant 7s. So everything we play is an extension, or everything we're going to play today is an extension. So let's start with a quick review of those chords. We've got G dominant 7 root position. First inversion puts the 3rd, which in our case is B, on the bottom. Second inversion, which puts the 5th, in our case D, on the bottom. And third inversion, which puts F, which is the flat 7, on the bottom. So for non-altered extensions, we have 5 options. We have the dominant 7 sus chord. We have the dominant 9, or just the 9 chord. We have the 9 sus, aka dominant 11. We have the 13, and we have a 13 sus. The dominant sus will start in root position. We don't have a lot of options in root position. We have a dominant sus, in which case we slide our pinky up a half step from B up to C. And it really wants to resolve. That wants to go back down. And then we can do a dominant 9 sus, or a dominant 11 sus. Is that what it's called? Yeah, a 9 sus, aka a dominant 11 chord. Because now we have root sus, which is the 11, flat 7, 9. They're really pretty. They kind of are their own little family there. And beyond that, we don't really have a lot of options here. We could put the 9 in the bass, but unless somebody's playing a G for you, it sounds more like a D minor 13. But again, if someone else is around and there's a really strong emphasis on G, you could do that. So that's about it for root position, for not with extensions. Altered chords, we got some options, but we're going to come back to that. So first inversion, we have some options. We can do a dominant sus again. A bit different because of where the notes are. The feeling's a little bit different. It's not quite as strong as of a resolve or a pull. But it is an option. You could also drop your pinky and bar on the 8th fret. You would probably hear that in a jazzier setting. That would be used, but it also they become other chords at a certain point if you lose too much of the core harmony of the original chord that you're playing. So that's something else to think about too. This kind of becomes more like a C major 11, rather than a G sus, because of how the notes stack up. And again, if somebody's giving you a strong root, you can hear it. But if not, my ear pulls more towards that. Anyway, the fun options we have here, or the more common options we have, the 9 is right here. So we've got the 9 lives on the 10th fret, which is A. So we have this nice upper structure thing, and our root would be right here. Our very common 9 chord that you hear all over rock, pop, blues, funk. It's everywhere. Jazz. Turn the volume down a touch. We're going to grab a pick. But you can just play this upper part till the cows come home, because if you're playing in a band, someone else is definitely grabbing that. Now we also can get the 13 here. You can get it by itself, which is a bit of a stretch because you got to throw your pinky up to the 12th fret and grab that E. I have a hard time with it, as you can hear. However, you can do a 9-13. Easy peasy. So we've got G first inversion, G7 first inversion, G7 sus, G7 9, G9, G9 with a 13. You can do G13 if your hands are big enough. Mine are just barely, and I can never get it in real time. I can just get it in isolation. So, moving right along, third inversion. Sus is easy, it's right here. 13th fret on the B string, but we've got some other fun options too. Our 9 is right there. On the 14th fret. And then our 13 would be in the bass. Which again, we're kind of making that sound more like, almost like an E, what would that be? It's almost like an E minor flat 9. Or we still have that strong flat 7 and 3 here, but we kind of lose the root sound. But again, if somebody else is grabbing a G, you can hear it. So then we get to what is probably the easiest of the bunch, third inversion. So, third inversion, you want to add a 9, throw your pinky down, and we get a nice G9 chord. You want a 13, third finger goes down onto the 5th fret. We have a nice G13 chord, because this note here is E. You want a 9-13? Put them all down. And the root's right here. So, and then, and we also can get our sus chord. So that covers our basic extensions for the chords in that position. Of course, every position has its own set of extensions. They just live in different spots. So now, let's talk about altered chords. Oh wait, no. First, let's talk about where do you use extensions and why. You can use extensions anywhere you want. They're not going to interfere with the melody or the harmony. They're not going to be obtrusive. They're going to add a nice harmonic palette to it. Let's say your dominant 7th chord is blue. Just playing, this is your blue chord. But you want teal. You want aquamarine. If you're playing, anytime you see a 7th chord, you can add an extension to it. It's generally not going to clash with anything else that's going on. Sus might be the only one you want to watch out for, especially if in the melody there's a third. Maybe you don't play the sus there. But a 9th or a 13th, have at it. They're there for your pleasure. So that about covers extensions. Well, we could go a lot more, but we're gonna stop there for now. Let's talk about those altered chords now. Now, altered chords are you're altering one of the notes, hence the name. So we've got flat 5s, sharp 5s, flat 9s, sharp 9s. Your flat 5 can also be called a sharp 11, and your sharp 5 can also be called a flat 13. They are effectively the same thing. So root position affords us two lovely altered chords. The first one is flat 5, aka sharp 11. Sharp 11s are very, very common in jazz settings. Now, when do you use these fabulous altered chords? You use them as passing chords and as the end of a turnaround. So if you're playing a blues, I'm going to play it here. 2, 3, 4, C7. I just hung on that altered chord for about half the bar, or one beat really, before I resolve down to a C7. Because you don't want to hang on them too long because they are a lot of tension. They want to be released. So we have another one here in root position, which we can use a flat 9 because all we got to do is slide our first finger up to A flat. So same idea, we'll do that pattern again of just like a blues. 2, 3, 4, right back to the flat, right back to the 4 chord. So, can you use both of them? Sure. Yes, but then you kind of get like a D flat 7. This is where we run into chords becoming other chords. So you can use both, but again, you have to really be aware of the context. So then we go up to first inversion. And the flat 9 is right there again, because all we gotta do is bring up that G to A flat. So if you're playing a blues, it's gonna go right here. You can do that. You also have sharp 5, flat 13. Oh yeah. And we also have sharp 11, aka flat 5. And these work really, really well as voice leading and passing tones. So if we're playing a blues again, I'm just gonna stick with the blues theme because I've been in a bluesy mode lately. Here's our G dominant 7. We want to go to C7. I added the 9th on that C7 chord because that pulls up to there really well. So flat 9, flat 13, flat 5 / sharp 11. You also can do a sharp 9. And if we're playing these with the root note, you can really see them. Flat 9, sharp 9. We'll do it from the 9th. So we have 9, flat 9, 9, sharp 9. You can get sharp 9, flat 13. You can get sharp 9, 13. All kinds of options, but again, these are used, typically they're used sparingly. You can use them however you want as long as it sounds good. So let's keep going. We've got sharp 5 comes right away. Oh yeah. Sharp 5. Flat 5. Nope, that was sharp 5. I want to go to regular 5. Sharp 9. Sorry, flat 9. Can you get a sharp 9 here? Not easily. And you're running again into the territory of what chord is this, because this is we had a B flat and a B clashing really strong with an F and a D. So again, use them with caution. Oh, and then we also can get that's it. Flat 5 or sharp 5, which is a flat 13. No, we didn't do that one. No, we did. Sharp 5 sharp 5 / flat 13. Flat 5. You'll notice that these shapes kind of repeat themselves. So this one here is our G7 flat 5, G7 flat 5 root, G7 flat 5 second inversion. You could also argue E flat altered, or E flat. Would that be E flat altered? E flat altered. or D flat altered. So many chords are other chords. It's amazing. Okay, and then we've got what probably is the easiest position of all to add extensions to. We already did the extensions, but to also adjust its general flavor. Flat 9, flat 13, flat 9, flat 13, also known as an F minor 7, flat 5. Again, this is why having the root around somewhere is really important, because it lets you hang on to that strong feeling. Before we go, let's just go over all of them again. I'm just gonna play as many as I can think of in, I don't have a clock, so however long it takes. So we've got root position, flat 5, root position, flat 9, first inversion, technically a flat 9, root position, let's see, root position, and then we get sharp 5. And then we get flat 5. Back to root. Anything else? Anything else? I mean, you can get a flat 9 kinda, or a sharp 9. Sharp 9. Sharp 9's over here. I needed to resolve it to something. So into C7 there. Now we've got root position. Sharp 5. Flat 5. Root position. That was flat 5, sharp 5. And then we get flat 9. We really can't get a sharp 9. We can, but it's tough. Root position. Or, that was second inversion. Home bass, third inversion. Flat 13. 13. Flat 5. Oh, can we do a flat 5? Of course we can do a flat 5. Forgot about flat 5 there. Flat 9, sharp 9, flat 5. Oh, sorry, flat 13, aka sharp 5. And I believe that about covers it. So practice those, get those shapes under your fingers. I almost say get those fingers under your shapes. That really don't work out too well. And I'll see you again real soon with something else. If you have any questions or recommendations or things you want to know about, drop a line in the comments and I will be happy to help you out. Cheers. Thanks for watching.